This rather unassuming pile of wood left here, along with the two workmates I've got there, can be made up to be a workbench, which is very handy for cutting plywood. Let me show you the idea behind how I made it. I built mine out of 2x6s. You can build them out of 2x4s, but I would recommend going no smaller than 2x4. And I took 3 battens of that wood, and then I cut them in half, and then I cut half of the halves in half. Once I'd done that, the 3 long bits got 4 half-lap joints in them, and 4 of the short parts got 3 half-lap joints in them, and the other 2 got some small divots out of them as locating holes for the long ones. Now I'll show you how they go together. The bits of wood clamped in workmates there just to hold the whole thing stable. I'm fortunate to have 2 workmates because me and my father-in-law bought our workmates about the same time, about 30 or 35 years ago. But if you don't have 2 workmates, I'll leave links to videos by April Wilkerson and Steve Ramsey down below, and they show how to build sawhorses. April Wilkerson's ones, she shows how to make stackable sawhorses, and Steve Ramsey shows how to make foldable sawhorses. So if those are any help to you, there's links down there. Next thing's next. Horizontals. Once we reach this stage, we need to check if the whole thing's square. And it very rarely is. Bar that bump. Focus on that bit. There we go, got it nice and square. Now I can put my horizontals in. What I've done to make this slightly easier for myself is I've numbered these long pieces and lettered these shorter pieces, so that I know that each of the mating slots are in the holes I cut them for. Now, I was careful enough that it shouldn't matter, but I am slightly overcautious and slightly OCD. Luckily only slightly, and they all fit reasonably well. There we are. You can see there's lots of cuts on me bits of planks here, whilst I've cut pieces of plywood over the years, but none of them are very deep. Some of them do get quite wide because you go over a similar area lots of times, but that doesn't matter. It's all doing quite well, and this has lasted me about 15 or 16 years so far, and it doesn't show much signs of deteriorating to terrible state yet. There we go. All I need now is a sheet of plywood. There we have it. A lovely table to cut my plywood, reasonably high up. Oh, great. Now, the final thing I'm going to go on about this week, it's a very serious subject. The slightly serious subject I want to talk about in regards to workshops is where to store your small parts. The screws, the small brass hinges, your drills and things like that. In my father's day, up until about the middle of the 20th century, everybody stored the small things in tobacco tins because lots of people smoked and tobacco came in these tins and these tins were just thrown away. So you put your aeriorums in them. These tins have been in a damp workshop for a long while, so they're a bit rusty. But nowadays there we go, there's a pack of screws in that one. The one with the green insulating tape is the one my father kept his drill bits in. Grand. Thing is, if you can find these for sale nowadays, the actual ones with the advertising on them, they're very expensive. Like I said, these were only being used because they were disposable. But yeah, you can actually buy tins of the same shape these days, and they're reasonably cheap. But the other thing you can do is you can buy little tins of different sizes to put different things in, so that can be handy. But of course these were basically free because they were being thrown out, got for nothing. So what can we do these days? Well, providing you're not afraid of looking too cute, cat biscuits come in these, some cat biscuits come in these cute little packets with the little ears on them, and you can store things in those. The difficulty with these is they're an oval shape with a funny shape like this, so stacking them is a tricky problem. Another solution is a friend gave me this, or gave me two of these actually. This is what things like spices and mayonnaise and things come to commercial kitchens in. It's things that aren't used a lot in each recipe, but there's a lot of the recipes being used, so they go through a lot of them. So you may find, if you have connections with commercial kitchens, or indeed you work in a commercial kitchen, you'll find lots of PD tubs and things there probably. Going back to the commercially available, I was given these, and very nice they are too. Just little boxes. There you go, you can store some little aeriorums in there. And they come in a nice little rack that you can hang on the wall. Super. But back to things you can get. These. Now you can buy things like this in bulk, but these came from our local Chinese takeaway with Chinese food inside them, which we ate, which was very nice. But then washed them out. Can use them for keeping aeriorums in, and as you can see, these ones have been somewhere where sawdust landed on them. But the benefit of these over that is that these stack nicely together, and you can make out of some scrap wood, you can make shelves to put these on. Keeps them nice and together. But another way of doing it is this big box is just a bigger version of these little ones here, same company. I've made a wooden set of dividers, and these are actually vitamin C tablet tubes. Now, don't let anyone tell you that vitamin C is good for your immune system. It isn't. It does nothing for it at all. That rumour started because one man published a book where he had been advised to take vitamin C, and he said that after he had been taking lots of vitamin C, he hadn't had a cold since. But there is no, there have been studies done, but they can find no evidence that it's any good for you. What I have been told is that vitamin C with a meal will help you metabolize the iron. So if you're short of iron, try taking some vitamin C with your meal. But the benefit of these tubes is you can store your screwdriver bits in them. These are my Posi Drive number 2s, and in the UK you'll end up with more Posi Drive 2s than anything else, because most of the screws you meet will be Posi Drive 2s. But I've got the Posi Drive ones, Phillips ones, Torx, Hex. The only disadvantage of making yourself a nice rack to put your screwdriver bits in is you'll start to collect screwdriver bits. I've managed to curb my enthusiasm. I've still got a slot left. These ones are for 20 tablets. I have found a tube of isotonic tablets, and they're half the size. They hold 10. So you get away with a smaller thing, because I mean, of the things that you don't use much, you'll end up with a big tube with 3 things in it. But that's fine. So there we are. Where to store your small parts. My personal favourite is the retired Chinese takeaway. I hope you enjoyed this look into how I'm turning the one-car garage here into a workshop, and my thoughts on small part storage. I'll be doing some work here, making benches and other projects for the garden, so we'll do those in the weeks to come. I'll still be doing my walks in nature and my history and such like, so I'll be interspersing them all. If you've enjoyed this video, a like, a comment and or a subscribe would be awfully welcome. It's free of charge to subscribe to YouTube channels, and it lets the algorithm know what's going on and helps me at this end, so that will be awfully welcome. I will be back next week with another video about something else, and in the meantime, have fun till then.